Hey there guys, so the last time in the anime, we saw that heroes have been summoned to this world, and after 3 months of training, Sidonia decided to introduce them to other nations. It was a way to suppress the Church of Creation, and the heroes were scum to say the least, and as they reached Barkila Empire, those two saw Sophia and Mani and demanded Takumi to give the girls to them. It's a serious thing to pick a fight inside the guild, so they backed off, but one of them was a kind girl named Akane, and Takumi realized she's Japanese and called her over to his hotel to talk, where Takumi also revealed how he got into this world and that he's from Japan as well. But then Akane begged Takumi to help her get out of Sidonia, because she noticed her two friends turning evil right before her eyes. Akane never believed in Sidonia Empire and always cast purification on her food and water. But it will be a matter of time before she falls too, so Takumi decided to help her out. But on the other side, a huge monster stampede started at the Wedgeford village, and just as the word got to the guild, they summoned Takumi and the Lion Fang party. Because of this stampede, many parties were already out and they had only 3 parties on their hand: Takumi's party, Lion Fang, and the third one freaks out real, because they are Crimson Rose. Their party is well balanced, and the leader of their party has heard about Takumi and her party. She was well acquainted with Lion Fang, but anyways, their job is to head out for Wedge Fort and fight the monsters, and for that, Takumi had already made a blade for Sophia. The first was Amaterasu made from orichalcum, and the other was Tsukuyomi. Both are considered holy swords, and Sophia accepted the blade with grace, and with it, they arrived at the village, and from afar they could clearly see just how bad the situation was. Flying monsters, and some could even climb over those tall walls, so all of them started immediately to kill out monsters as fast as they could. Their numbers were too many, and even then, the 3 parties made their way into the village right through those monsters. Unfortunately, some monsters had already invaded the village, so no one wasted any time and killed all of them. Villagers sigh in relief when they saw Takumi came here to help. Then Takumi splits up the group to take on their jobs, like treating people and killing the rest of the monster outside. Takumi goes over to the wall and saw all the monsters started going back into the woods. It was like they were coordinating their attack on sync. Usually it never happens, but Captain Dork saw that monsters are carefully planning their every attack each time he fought them until now, and Takumi thought maybe a monster is leading them all. If that's the case, then that monster could have evolved when Sidonia summoned the heroes. So maybe a monster could have evolved, that's why Goddess Nalan had forbade that spell for a reason, and at the Sidonia Empire, they heard the monster invasion in the border village of Barkila, so they thought they could take this chance to weaken Barkila. The king ordered the deployment of his troops, but his daughter thought of attacking all the nations that support Sidonia as well. That way Barkila won't get help from anywhere, and for that they could use their pawns called heroes. On the other hand, girls were tending to the injured, and Sophia kept in the watch. Their Reva brought her lunch and shared she's worried about their healing potion. Takumi is offering it to everyone and they will soon run out. They had to deliver a huge portion to Paypec Company, so they didn't have time to prepare another batch, and Sophia also thought of saving some for themselves in case. But Takumi gives priority to others first before himself. Sophia knows he's that kind of a man and resolved to protect him from whatever comes next. Then Takumi planned out to defend against another monster attack, and right then Maple called him over as another monster horde is coming. So Takumi and others prepared themselves and went out to face them. Their numbers have increased, but they can't back down now. Everyone has launched a full-scale attack from both sides. And with it, the close combatants started taking their place. Sophia and Takumi both were using their new blades and lion fangs, and Crimson Rose both took the sideline, leaving center to Takumi and his party. Sophia was going on ahead herself, and Takumi asked her to stay close. But monsters again fell back, and one particular monster ate others and evolved into a more powerful being. That clarifies that it's the leader. Everyone kept attacking it, but their attacks weren't working, so Sophia calls out to that thing to her side. She was planning to take it on to save Takumi, but she didn't last long and Takumi stepped in. He and others took the fight and pins the monster down with their magic power. Then he used Amaterasu and sliced the monster off with everything he had. Takumi instantly used healing and asked her why she was so reckless. She could have died like this, but she wanted to protect Takumi. And Takumi wants her to save herself first, boy exhausted himself and passed out. And after some time he woke up. Then after several days, they started getting back to Bolton, and the heroes from Sidonia wiped out an entire village. After that, Takumi's party threw a little celebration for saving Wedgefort, but Sophia was down sitting on the other side, and Takumi was munching down his food, so Maria scolded him for being inconsiderate, and Takumi understood why. So he went over to Sophia and apologized for getting angry at her. Sophia knew she was also in the wrong, but she thought she could protect him that way, and Takumi doesn't want her to sacrifice her life for him because Takumi wants her to be by his side for the rest of his life. The moment was getting to a good and slow love confession, but Akane has a hard time reading the room and ruined the moment, so Lulu apologized on behalf of Akane, and later, Takumi introduced her to Marquis Bolton, who agreed to let Akane stay here. However, the news reached even here about how those heroes of Sidonia killed the villagers at the border village, and Akane knew she'd have to face them in the near future. Goddess Nalan knew things would turn out this way, so this must be the reason she sent Takumi a year and passed before heroes were summoned. So Takumi made up his mind to protect the people and things he cherishes in this world, and that's how the anime comes to an end. But stay tuned to watch more anime recaps, and for that, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest anime episode recaps. Until then, take care.